Okay. Hey, y'all. Hey. It's Thursday. It's Thursday. It's Thursday. It's Thursday. Can y'all hear me? Where y'all located? Woohoo! I think it's because somebody called me. They called me. That's why. Okay. Somebody called me and knocked my live off. Okay. So, all right, y'all. So, yay! Okay. So today we're going to be talking about oral sex with herpes. You said no sound. Can y'all hear me? Let me know if you can hear me. All right. Okay. Cool. All right. Houston in the building. I love me some Houston, Texas in the building. Okay. Cool. Yay. All right, guys. So we're going to be talking about oral sex with herpes. Many of you guys don't believe you can do this, but I done this many of times. If you watch my last video, like I said, how I contracted genital herpes, I'm serious. I don't deal with nobody who don't. If I was younger, I did, but now I do not. Because I feel like, listen, this is a give and take. I feel like that's a part of my sex. So you're going to have to do that. If not, we just can't be together. And I don't think herpes should be a reason to stop. Okay, you want to know how I can do that. The reason I do that is because, number one, I got confidence in myself. And I feel like if you accept me, that's it. That's it. But my whole thing is a lot of you guys are scared to do this because you are just traumatized or just scared out your mind to pass something to somebody. I'm not gonna lie, it comes across my mind here and there, but at the end of the day, this is why disclosing is vital. If you disclose, they accept. That means they accept the risk. That means we just gonna do what we do. Period. I know you think that was just so like, Belissa's gonna drop these gem. That is the gem. Disclose, he accept. Y'all talk about y'all sexual history. Y'all know each other's statuses. Y'all use protection, don't use protection. That's up to y'all. And then you just do what you do. I mean, literally, you just do what you do. Most of you guys are just traumatized and just scared because of how you probably contracted herpes. So you're still not over that. You still haven't accepted yourself. You still think, oh my God, if I give it to them, I'm ruining their life. If you disclose, you're not ruining anybody's life. Half of y'all have herpes because nobody ever told you they didn't disclose to you. So you assuming you're going to do the same thing or they will feel the same way. No, they will not feel the same way because you disclosed. You were responsible enough to reach out to them and tell them, hey, this is what I'm dealing with. And they say, you know what, sis? I'm feeling you, Queen King. I'm feeling you. I want to be with you. So they made a choice. So when a person make a choice, it ain't nothing for you to really be stressed about. Most of us did not have a choice. That's why a lot of you are having a hard time doing anything. You're right. They made a choice. Correct. No choice. Most people don't get one. I didn't have a choice. I had sex with somebody. I don't believe he knew his status. Boom, I got it. Most of you guys did not know. Didn't know, and it really, really frustrated you. So my whole thing is I want you to understand it won't be the same. It will not be the same. A lot of you are stuck in your own diagnosis and then assuming that your partner will feel, think, or experience what you experience. You don't know, and they will not, because at the end of the day, you gave them a choice. Gave me a choice. Choice. Oh, thank you, Shayna. That's sweet. Thank y'all for the badges. A choice. Okay, choice. I'm going to say this. Choice. If you give a person a choice, they're fine. When you don't give people a choice, that's when they get pissed. Listen, oral sex, I give it and I receive it with no issue. Now, this is another thing. A lot of you guys don't want to do it because, number one, you don't want to pass it. That's your biggest thing. You need to understand you're giving them a choice and they have the ability to choose. And then number two, it's because you don't even understand how your body works. Okay? You are scared because you always having outbreaks or you don't even know what your outbreaks look like. You don't know what it feels like. So you don't want to do anything because you don't know how it feels or you don't know what you're experiencing. Yeah, you're right. You shouldn't be doing nothing and you shouldn't be giving nothing until you understand your body. Okay? Until you take the time. Now I want to say this to you. Some of you guys are never going to have outbreaks, but that doesn't mean you don't have any symptoms. Itching, burning, throbbing. Those are symptoms. So a lot of people say, oh no, I don't have symptoms. You be having symptoms. You just don't realize it's a symptom. So it's very important that you take some time to learn your body first before you engage into oral sex or sex in period, because that person is looking to you to know your body. What you don't know, they don't know. So I'm confident in my body. I took the years to learn my body. 11 years in, I know what my body look like, feel like, experience when I have an outbreak. But like I said, for my individuals who ain't never had a physical outbreak, like you didn't see a bump or a clump, I want you to take some time and not get so stuck on the bumps and cuts. And what are you experiencing? Are you dealing with headaches? Are you dealing with your, like aching? And are you dealing with other things? If you want to kind of know, I was about to say something, but never mind. But yeah, it's just important for you to know what an outbreak is to you. Yeah, get that mirror and look at your private parts. Absolutely, you have to see what it looks like. But remember, everybody don't have bumps, cuts, any of that. Sometimes it's just simply some people get headaches. Some people throats itch. Some people get tingling in the face or tingling in their thighs. Some people have like this sharp pain in their genital areas or in their legs and their feet. You need to pay attention to that. If you are experiencing something you did not experience prior to herpes, that's possibly because herpes is triggering that. That is your symptom. No, don't ever pop them bumps. Ever. Keep your hands off the bumps, okay? Keep your hands off of them. And if you touched it, you need to wash your hands. Don't touch it. Do not touch it, okay? It's not something to pop. Leave it. Everybody's look different. Some people, it just look like a hair bump. Some people like a pimple. Leave it alone. It'll go away on its own. It'll open up on its own. Some people it opens, some people it don't. So I'm telling you guys that you can have oral sex with no problem. This is not no drawed out video. This is to the point video, because half of y'all just scary. I'm just being honest. You just scared and you lack knowledge. And when you lack knowledge, you do nothing. So my whole thing is you're able to do all of that, because I'm sure some of you guys are in a relationship with your partner like, look, I want to perform oral on you, blah, 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 man, and vice versa. And you're like, no. And looking like, what is the big deal? I don't have no problem with it. Can you get to a place where you accept yourself and not so be worried about if somebody get it? If they get it, it's because they accepted it. They accepted the risk. I think this is a thing that I'm realizing within the herpes community and within communities, period, when it comes to sex. We're not used to we're not used to choices. We're not used to people giving us a choice or giving us a decision to make. So since that's not happened, we don't know what to do. We don't know what to do because we're not used to it. We're not used to it at all. So when you finally give somebody a choice, you still think you're lying. You still don't think it was enough because you're not used to it. So my whole thing is you got to get used to being responsible and talking about sexual health with people, because we're not taught that. We're taught to use the condom, get tested, and just do you. Not including the other person, not saying nothing to the other person. It's not nothing to deal with the other person other than opening your legs or tooting it up. That's it. It don't have anything to do about having conversations. So now, since you're in a predicament where, hey, now I got an STI, now I'm having conversations. It's like, oh my God, but now I'm putting them at risk. You was at risk in the first place, and you didn't even know it. You at risk every time you have sex with somebody or put your mouth on somebody. You are at risk, period. It's just the question is, are you asking enough questions? Or are you waiting enough to find out what's going on with them before you do anything? Most people, no. How many of you guys have kissed somebody on the first date? How many guys have kissed people and have asked them if they ever had an STI in their mouth? Nobody. Let's be completely honest. We don't understand that you can get STIs in your mouth. Gonorrhea, chlamydia, HIV, all of this stuff can be in your mouth and can be passed through your mouth. And we don't think none of it. You go on a date for your first time and he go in for the kiss, or bruh, you be kissing on her. You don't even know what she at. You don't even know nothing. Don't know it all. And don't tell me you never did it, because everybody have. Okay? We are all guilty of doing that, because what we're not thinking is that you can pass STIs through the mouth. Now, y'all know how I feel. Herpes, I don't always say is, if you get it orally from just a kiss, I don't consider that an STI, because at the end of the day, it wasn't sexual, okay? But if you have sex with somebody and have oral sex with them in an intimate way, and y'all are performing oral and things like that, that's when it can consider that. If anybody understands, STIs are considered STIs just because they affect your genitals. Not just because you can get it through sex, it's because it affects your genitals. So I really want you guys to understand that you can have an oral sex life with no problems. Stop it. Like, stop holding yourself hostage. I'm not telling anybody to do what you do. I'm just giving you information that is possible and you can do it. Belize, have you ever passed it in somebody's mouth? No. That's just my story. That's not everybody's story, but that's mine. But stop, and I'm going to say this. Stop looking for somebody to prove to you that they didn't do something. You need to go out there and do you. And learn from your situation and know what you need to know. Because many of you guys are coming to me asking questions like, Belize, well, have you ever passed to nobody? Or did you pass to your kid? What my experience is will never be your experience. You will never probably ever experience what I experienced. Herpes is different for everybody. Stop looking for a template. Herpes don't have a template. It don't exist. That's why it's an issue, because herpes don't have a template. It's not a look right. You can't, like, if you look at HIV, gonorrhea, chlamydia, trichomoniasis, syphilis, they all have a template. It's all typically the same. Herpes don't work like that. And since it don't work like that, I mean, you got to do the work to learn it for yourself, which, let's be honest, we're not used to that. We're not used to dealing with a virus or a bacteria or whatever STI and not knowing what to do. Because we can typically look it up online and it tell you how to handle it. Herpes is not like that. It ain't like that at all. You got to take the time to learn it yourself and manage it yourself. You can manage it however you see fit. It's not the same for each person. Like for me, I don't use medication at all. I don't see the need to do so. I know my body. I know my triggers. If you don't know anything about triggers, watch my other video. Listen, herpes saved my life too, girl. So my whole thing is you got to understand that you just got to manage it yourself. I don't see the need to take medicine. I eat a certain way. I work out. I drink water. I learn what works. I use my products, which my products are all external and essential oils, all natural products, and I slap it on it because most people don't realize medication. I'm not against it. I will say this. I'm not against it, but it will not reduce your symptoms on the external. You need something for external because a lot of y'all gonna still feel itching, burning, all that stuff. Take your medicine. You say it's not working. It is working. It's working for the virus. It's not working for the symptoms. Antivirals do not work for the symptoms. They work for the virus. It focuses only on that. So you need something to help you. So if you need my products, they're in the bio. Yes. Go. Thank you so much. Let me go back up because I know you guys have questions. Now you have the ability to ask me whatever. I'm done. I'm done, y'all. You can do it. Disclose. Number one, accept yourself. Accept yourself. Learn how to manage it yourself. Know your triggers. Know what your outbreaks feel like. And then after that, disclose and live. Have y'all conversations. Make sure you know their status. They know your status. Y'all choose on how y'all gonna move and do you. It's just that simple. I think a lot of us make it complex because we're not used to it. Are you married? No, I was married when I first started. When I first came an advocate, I was married. I've been divorced for over 3 years now. But I was married before when I came out. How do you tell people? Okay, when it comes to telling, get my course. It's easier that way. I can't really explain because everybody's story different. Some of y'all in relationships, some of y'all in potential relationships. The course, how to disclose course, get the course. It's going to make your life easier. Because everybody's story is so different. Yep, Shayna said it's a choice. HSV1 in the genital area is super. I'm scared. It looks gross when I have an outbreak. Okay, but my whole thing is you can't look at yourself as gross. An outbreak is an outbreak. You just do what you need to do to heal it on up. Do what you got to do to heal it on up. I'm going to say this to stop looking at, you can't look at yourself in a nasty way. Even though outbreaks don't feel good for everybody, things like you can't be in this when you have an outbreak. You feel this feeling. You can't keep doing that. How do you think you're supposed to accept yourself and you look every time you have an outbreak? Like, you got to get past that mindset. It's just like if you have a pimple on your face. You don't like how it look, but you ain't going to tell you an ugly person because you got a pimple. Same sort of situation. Just because you have an outbreak, that doesn't mean you're going to tell yourself that you disgusting and you nasty. And watch how you talk to yourself. How you talk to yourself is how you treat yourself, and that's how other people's going to treat you. So be careful with that, okay? Be careful with that. Ooh, let me see. What is a good time to disclose you have? Okay, get the course. Get the course. How to disclose course. Get the mirror and look at your private parts, y'all. Look at it. No, medication doesn't 100% prevent the medication. What the medication is, and it's something that Rich Musso said to me, which I thought was absolutely amazing. If you want to know more of the science behind it, then I'll tell you to watch my IGTV that I was on with Rich. But one thing he said about the antiviral, it's like a birth control. Literally, you need to take your birth control as soon as you have symptoms. For us, as soon as you have symptoms, you need to take it. If you don't, it's not going to do anything. It's really just helping to get the virus back into quote unquote a dormant state or quiet state, but it won't prevent. If you trigger an outbreak, then the chances are an outbreak coming. That medicine is not a cure. That's what the medicine is for. Okay, what about using tea tree? Yeah, tea tree oil, the bomb. All my products got tea tree oil in it. Every single one of them. I've had 2 outbreaks over 53 years. Usually when I run down, by S gave it to me years ago from cold sores on my mouth. Absolutely, a lot of people don't realize that cold sores and fever blisters is herpes. It's not saying that you were sexually abused, especially if you got it as a child, anything like that. It's just saying that somebody kissed you as a kid with your mama, grandma, cousins, all this stuff, and they gave it to you, but they didn't know it was contagious. Okay, most people don't know it. You say you don't have, but just curious. Good question though. I always ask. Don't ever feel wrong for asking questions. I always want you guys to ask questions with it or without it. With it or without it. Because you never know if you come in contact with somebody who have it and you don't know what to do. You are not the risk to be taken. The risk is sex, period. Absolutely. Sex is risky, y'all. Sex is risky, period. But it's all about having conversations. But what about the outbreaks? I literally have bumps that never go away. Well, if you're having bumps that never go away, that means, number one, you're having an ongoing outbreak, which is very, very possible. You can do that with all the time. I know some people who had outbreaks for a long period of time. It's because you have not figured out what works for your outbreaks. You have not put nothing on it. You haven't did anything that works. So I would strongly suggest DM me and you talk, okay? But I'll tell you to get my Speed Up Cream and my Wash Out Soap, and it get your life. But you got to learn what's triggering them. So if you take the medication, you can't pass it. Nope, that's not true either. The medication is not a cure. Valtrex is not a cure. Period. It's a birth control. I mean, it's no lie. It literally try to help to put the virus back into a quiet state. It does not prevent anything. It doesn't cure anything. It don't do anything, truthfully. Because everybody, it affects them differently. Nope. Okay. Yes, you can still pass it. It reduces the chance, but it doesn't prevent it. No, that's not true either. Even if you not have an outbreak. Now, if y'all don't, I don't know if y'all watched my video. So another video with herpes, it's 2 forms of outbreaks. It's a physical outbreak that you see and feel, and then shedding, when the virus is present, but you don't know it's there. No feelings, no itching, no burning, no nothing. Nothing you know is there. Okay? That's 2 types. So number 1, the one that you feel, you know not to do anything because you can feel it. The other one, it ain't much you can do. You don't know it's there. That's why disclosing is vital. All right? Know your own body. What works for the bumps? My Speed Up Cream. When do you disclose? Get the disclosing course. I researched this topic throughout when I was studying medical. I read throbbing pain come from the virus hiding itself in the nervous system. Absolutely. Are you contagious when you have symptoms but not an outbreak? Are you contagious when you have symptoms but not an outbreak? That is an outbreak. Any symptoms that you have is a physical outbreak. I think that's what a lot of people are getting confused about. If you're having throbbing, itching, burning, that's an outbreak. You should not be feeling any of that. That's not normal. If you're feeling something, something's wrong. You shouldn't feel nothing. So if you feel any of that stuff, do not have sex at that time or kiss. I have became brave disclosing due to working with police. Listen, come on, disclosures. See, you can't be calling yourself ugly. You watch your mouth now. How do you know your triggers? You learn them over time. So I will tell you, go over to the IGTV and I go into detail on triggers. Okay. Yep. Watch that video. It'll make it easy on y'all. All right. Yes, herpes is not curable right now. All right. So I just want to answer everybody's questions. I hope this helped. I hope this put things in perspective. Guys, so happy I found you. Thank you so much, beautiful. I appreciate you for finding me too, however you came to me. But I want to tell you guys, do not forget, September 18th, I'm having a live webinar, which is my first live webinar in so long. I'm having a live webinar where you get to see me help you with your confidence. Because y'all confidence is shot. And we got to get that better, because there ain't no way that you are going to even have oral sex or kiss somebody or be happy if you do not learn how to get your confidence back. So I want to help you get your confidence back. Get in this webinar, guys. You are not... Listen, if anybody have ever worked with me, I'm the bomb. Okay? I'm the bomb. I'm here to help you. I get it. I've been there. I worked on my own confidence. And still working on my confidence today. So I want you guys to understand that it's always good to get it from people who already have it. All right. So I'm here to break that sucker down. If y'all know, it's in my little orange notebook. I wrote all the notes out. It's going down. So make sure you get your ticket, guys. September 18th at 6 p.m. Eastern time. We'll be on Zoom and we're going to talk, because I'm going to break this down on how to get your confidence back. You got to give it back. You got to. You're not going to be able to do anything you want to do living with herpes if you don't get your confidence back. You got to get it back. So the information is in the bio. Get your ticket. You will not be disappointed. Period. Y'all so sweet. I love y'all. He said, since knowing you, my confidence hit 100. Me and my boyfriend communicate every day and have great sex, giving and receiving. Yes, girl. But you can still pass it to others while not having symptoms, right? That's only if you're shedding, which you don't know when that happens. And shedding is a hit and a miss. It's hit and miss. So you never know when you're doing it. So that's just the reason why disclosing is vital, because at the end of the day, you and that partner talks about that, and then y'all decide on how y'all want to move pertaining to that, okay? You're welcome. You're welcome. Listen, get the wash out soap and the cream, girl. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Okay, I'm happy I clarified that, because a lot of people get confused. If you read things online, they make outbreaks like outbreaks ain't symptoms. It's all the same. I can't stand the terminology sometimes. Great stuff, Coach Lee. Thank you. I've been coaching for 6 years. I just had herpes for 11, but I had to go through my own struggle, y'all. I ain't always been like this. I had to get my confidence up first. You can't be a coach or you can't be an advocate and not be at your highest. Like, it's not possible. You got to get to a high place yourself so you can help other people out the mud. Coach Blease, thank you. You're welcome, Facts. We love you. I love you too. I love you too. Thank you. Yes, you can have babies, girl. My baby was just standing here. I got 2. I had 2 babies right after herpes. I had my first son. Literally, I got pregnant the same year. Told his dad. He didn't care. We had unprotected sex. Poof, had a baby. And then my other son, I was married. Poof, told him, had sex, had a baby. So, yeah. And my kids are absolutely fine. They did not. A lot of you guys worry about getting it through the birth canal. But I got another IG on that too. Thank you so much. I definitely have to buy your products. They are the bomb. That's not true. They just, I want to tell you why they say that. I'm going to say that. Okay, they said that they cannot be diagnosed if you don't have any abrasions, cuts, outbreaks, whatever. That's not true. It's just the blood test is not the best, okay? It's not the best. Not saying it doesn't work, but it's not the best. But I'm a strong believer. If something's not the best, you still use it until we get to a place till we get the best. For example, with COVID, our test wasn't the best for COVID right away, but we still use them to get your COVID test and all this stuff like that. So with that being said, you still use what you have until then. So for us, what they're saying is, okay, if you're not having a physical outbreak that we can swab, which swab is like most accurate, then we're not going to do it. I see it. I got it. I get it. But people want to be proactive, which they're not allowing us to be, which is to prevent things because we don't know our status. How am I being 100% safe if I'm not being tested for everything? So that's a fight. We got to fight harder, which I believe is some great people in the works who working on getting the testing better because we need it. But y'all be surprised. 80% of people have herpes and have no clue. Love you. Please keep doing what you're doing. Girl, I ain't going nowhere. Oh, way before 6 years ago, girl. I was only 20 years old when I found out, so I know, but I'm here now, so don't even flip. I'm here now. I'm here to support you. I'm here to help you. No worries. Thank you so much, love. No. Do you have a lot of blackheads and outbreaks when you first got it? No. No. But you got to remember, everybody's different. Blackheads is nothing but oil built into your pores. That's just like a little pimple. But outbreaks, no, I never really had a lot of outbreaks. I typically have between out of 11 years, I typically had between 4 to 6 every year. I never really had that many. If I had 6, which was during the time of COVID, I had the most is because of a lot of stress and a lack of sleep. But outside of that, I typically probably have 4 a year, if that. If that. Disclose. I was diagnosed before I had my first outbreak. I did a lot of growing and healing. Absolutely. It's scary, but you'll be surprised to accept it. Yeah, you know why? Disclosing is only scary because we're not used to doing it. We're not used to doing it. That's the only reason why it's scary. But if it was something that we were taught to do, you'll still be nervous, but it won't be as bad. Hey, Queen. Hey, Amber. But yeah. What up, Jamaica in the building? So, but we got to get to a place of being comfortable with disclosing information. Even if it's not an STI or STD, it's still information you need to share. A lot of y'all done dealt with trauma or some things in your past, and you need to tell that person that because they don't know why you act the way you do. You need to be able to talk to them. Yeah, I'm so happy I was able to help you, love. Make sure y'all get the How to Disclose course. It's the bomb. Get the products. Get into the webinar. I'm here to help you. I disclose so I won't have to waste mine or their time. See, you got to change your mindset. It's never about... Nobody you talk to is time wasted. Nobody you talk to is time wasted. When you seen that person you was interested in, they was interested. Don't look at it things like that. You disclose because that's what you're supposed to do. Not because you worrying about time being wasted. That let me know that your mind still haven't developed a place of acceptance for yourself. Okay? I disclose because at the end of the day, I'm responsible. That's why I disclose. Not because no time being wasted. Not because I'm scared if they're going to accept me or not. I can care less. 1 down, 1,000 more to go. If you don't want me, somebody else will. But you got to build that type of mindset. But I understand. I've been there. I was like, I want to tell them early. Telling somebody early is not going to change anything. Telling somebody late ain't going to change anything. You need to just tell them. That person going to make their own decision. It don't have nothing to do with you. They make up their mind based off what they want to deal with and what they don't. It's just that simple. Everybody, and I'm going to say this in my last thing I'm going to say. Stop feeling like you can make herpes sound good. Or, I don't know, like, stop trying to make it seem something that it ain't. A person have ability to choose what they want to choose, respect it, and move on. The same way y'all won't choose a dude who got a bunch of kids or no job, or a chick who ain't got her business together, or she not taking care of herself. It's the same way that a person come up to you and say, you know what? No, I'm good. And you just respect it and you move on. Your confidence shouldn't get shot in the foot because somebody made a choice for themselves. We keep looking at this wrong, y'all. We looking at it so wrong. People have the ability to choose what they want. It's just we're not used to choosing like this. We used to just busting our legs open or tooting it back or putting your thing and stuff that you're not used to making logical choices and having real conversations. We're not used to it. We talk to just do what you want to do and you'll be fine. You won't. It's not safe and it's not responsible. We got to do better than that, y'all. You said what you said about this. Yes, Amber. Watch now. So true. You're great. Exactly. This call can be much easier once you accept it and the person you want to be accepts you too. Well, my whole thing is I ain't gonna lie. I just don't worry about it. I don't worry. I disclose and I be like, yay or nay. So I ain't even tripping because I finally got to a place and it took me a long time. I got to a place that I say they're adult and they can make their own decisions. And I respect it. I don't get in my feelings about another person's decisions. A lot of y'all just getting y'all feelings about other people's decisions because you want what you want. and you think you losing out on something. You're not losing out on anything. Keep moving. It's so many people out here. Keep moving. The dating scene is not as bad as y'all making it seem. It's just your mindset on how you date. And I'm going to say that, and y'all can take it how you want, but I said what I said. Thank you, love. Period. Thank you for stepping on my toes. Listen, I got to step on your toes a little bit because sometimes we just don't realize it. We don't realize it. We don't realize our mindset. We don't realize it that we still like it to itself. We don't realize it. Listen, Amber, keep moving. Because they keep hollering. They will holler at you, ladies. Y'all listen, guys, these women still want you. Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. It's just all about how you change, how you view yourself. All right? So I love you guys. I appreciate every single one of you. Make sure you get your ticket for Confidence is Your Problem. Live webinar September 18th, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. You do not want to miss it. Let's get this confidence up. Okay? Let's get this confidence up. If you need anything else, it's in the bio. Oh, I also want to tell you guys, if you never have been tested for herpes, now I'm working with a company now that literally, if you're in the States, nationwide, they say nationwide, but you'll have to put in your zip code and you can go get tested for $69 for type 1 and type 2. $69 out the pocket. So don't be saying, but at least I can't get tested. Yes, you could. You'll go on the website, you pay for your test, you walk right into the doctor's office, they take your blood, and then you see your test results in 2 days. No excuses. Information is in the bio. No excuses. If you do not know your herpes status, I strongly suggest you find out. And make sure your partner knows there too. No more, oh, he don't know, he need to get tested. Tell him to go on Belief's website, go on right onto my link tree, and he can sign up for $69, and he can go down to the clinic, and you can go right along with him and sit in the car. Or go right in the doctor's office with his behind. No more excuses. Belize did what she had to do to help y'all out. So now, nobody got no more excuses not to know your status. The only reason why you won't know your status now because you're being scary. Grow up. Know your status. I love you. Share that with other people who need to know their status. You can also do you can do all 10. You can do a 10 panel test and test you for gonorrhea, chlamydia, HIV, Hep A, B, and C, HIV 1 and 2, gonorrhea, chlamydia, everything. And that was like $139. That's a deal. That's a deal. That's a date. That's a date, y'all. Do a date. Y'all pay for y'all things and go get tested together. Stop busting it open without tests. Okay? So, there you go. You can't say I ain't did nothing for you. Now you know where to go to get tested. There you go. See you at the webinar. Yay! I'm excited. So I love you guys. I appreciate you. Just know I'm here for you. Don't ever feel like you can't hit my DM. My DM is wide open. If any of y'all ever DM me, I'm getting to you. But just know my DM is wide open. I'm here to support you. I'm here to love on you. And I'm here to help you get your confidence back. So I love you and I'll see y'all soon. Bye.